Familia made his first court appearance today in Fort Lee after being charged with domestic violence. It's, of course, stemming from that incident on October 31st. He pled not guilty, walked hand in hand with his wife, Bianca, who has been unofficially identified as the accuser, according to multiple reports. The next court date is scheduled for December 15th. And we now welcome in the Honorable Anthony Mellaci, a retired Superior Court judge in New Jersey. And, sir, first of all, thanks for joining us. And secondly, what did you see as the biggest development in what happened today for Jeurys Familia?
Well, what sort of surprised me, Doug, was the fact that domestic violence in New Jersey usually takes two forms. It takes a civil form in the nature of a temporary restraining order, which is a civil restraint that prohibits the accused from having contact with the alleged victim. And then there's also a criminal aspect, which is what happened in municipal court today. Apparently, when the incident was reported to the police, they returned to the scene and at the scene noticed injuries on the alleged victim. They're duty-bound under statute to then sign a criminal complaint and remove the accused from the area. It's then up to the alleged victim, if she chooses, to also file a request for temporary restraints under civil court and get a restraining order issued prohibited the contact also. That was not done here, so that surprised me.
So technically speaking, Familia was charged with simple assault, which has a maximum penalty of 6 months in jail. What do you see as the most likely outcome here?
Well, from what I gathered from my review of the incident and what was said by the various attorneys, you have to understand, because it's criminal, the state takes over the prosecution, or in this case, because it's a disorderly persons offense, the municipal prosecutor takes over the prosecution. So even if the alleged victim does not want to proceed, they don't really have the final say. The restraints that were put on, the no contact, that was done by the judge who issued the initial bail of the $1,500. As a condition of that bail, there was to be no contact. At the request of both attorneys today, that was lifted, which would lead me to believe that sometime within the next 30 days before the next court appearance, this matter may be dropped in its entirety. Here it was a simple assault, a minor misdemeanor, and that matter, if the victim does not want to cooperate, can only be prosecuted by the officer saying what they viewed. There would be no testimony as to how the actual injuries occurred. And since it's a quasi-criminal matter, the proof is on the state beyond a reasonable doubt. So if the victim's not going to cooperate, it's going to be very tough to prove a case.